And hello and welcome back to another episode of Student of the Gun Radio. I'm your host, Paul Markle. Joining me to my left, stage right. Actually, it's my right, stage left.
I was going to say.
Is the opposite. Let's strike that, reverse it. Is Jared. We're in the same studio today in Wyoming, but we only have one camera. So if you're watching at home on your Facebook or YouTube or wherever, and you only see me, that's why.
Are we live on the... Oh, yeah, this is public.
Yeah.
You're live.
In front of the camera so that they could see me, but I'm not going to do that now.
Yeah. All right. And Zachary.
Hello, what's up?
What are you doing?
I'm currently about to send out just a little thing saying, hello, people, welcome to the show on all of the Facebooks and the YouTube pages that we use to say hi to people.
All right. Well, what we've got for you guys today, we have a precision rifle after action, part 1. We have a Brownell's bullet points for you. And we also have a Student of the Gun homeroom brought to you by Crossbreed Holsters, where we're going to talk about you're on your own, freaks. Yeah, you might not think you are, but you are. You are. All that and more on today's episode of Student of the Gun Radio.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Yes, indeed. All right. We just finished up. And I said on Monday, we'd finished up, but we did. We finished up a weekend-long precision rifle class here in rifle country, here in Wyoming. And congratulations to everyone who took the time to participate, the time out of their busy lives, and made an investment in themselves in travel and all that good jazz. Now, I almost said travel and food and lodging. They did invest in travel, food, and lodging, but the food, lodging, and training was all rolled into one single packet.
Yes. Yeah.
And how does that work, Jared?
It works really easily. You go to SOTGU.com. We've actually got another one this weekend coming up, which is 2 days from the release of this episode if you're not watching live. But if you are watching live, you got almost a whole week. So if you're close to Encampment, Wyoming, and you'd like to come, go to SOTGU.com, choose that August 7th through the 9th class, and get signed up. It includes everything. You just need to show up here.
Yeah. When you pay the tuition for our classes out here in Wyoming, you get food, you get lodging, you get the training. It's all rolled into one.
I'll tell you what, that lodge is substantially improved from last time. It's really nice,
isn't it?
Yes. Then the deck is a deck. That's a real deck right there.
Yeah.
Sitting on that.
A riverside river deck. Yeah. You could sit out by the river in the evening, in the morning. Nothing, that's probably one of my favorite things to do here of all is to get a cup of coffee early in the morning when it's still brisk and go out there and sit on that deck next to the river.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful there.
It's quiet.
I could string up a hammock between those two posts and just sleep there all night.
Yeah.
It'd probably get cold, but it would be worth it.
It's quiet and it's serene, and there aren't a bunch of other stupid humans around. Stupid inner city dwelling humans around. How far did our shooters get to shoot this weekend? Well, some of them, every single one of them got to shoot out to what?
1,000.
1,000 yards.
Yep.
Yes, every single one of our students was able to legitimately leave here and say, I hit a target at 1,000 yards. I sat down behind a rifle, had some coaching, had some dope. Not that kind of dope, the other kind of dope. Doped up, and boom. Thanks to Stephen and Melissa for helping people out. Not everybody brought a big long rifle. Some people brought 308s. Some people brought 223s. Some people brought 7x300. Some people bought Creedmoor rifles. But the fact is everybody had a good time. Everybody learned something. Everybody exceeded their own expectations, I believe, from the feedback that I get or got. I think everybody exceeded. The class exceeded everyone's expectations.
Did anybody hit the super target?
1.5?
Yeah.
No.
None of the
we shot at it.
That we're making.
We spent just a little bit of time shooting at it. We got some impacts that were really close.
Yeah.
But not enough to say, yes, that absolutely was an impact.
The mile target was hit.
Oh, yeah. The mile target was hit 3 times by 3 shooters. So the mile target was hit, 1,400 target was hit, 1,000 target was hit, and then all the others. So it's a good time. If you've never really stretched your rifle out, if you've got a rifle and you've never shot it beyond 100 yards or 200 or 300 even, this is an opportunity. It's not a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but it's an opportunity to learn and engage targets on a range that most people don't have access to. Some people have 1,000-yard ranges. Some people have, there ain't that many miles. I would say you can count on one hand the number of mile ranges east of the Mississippi. I would say that's a fair estimate. But either way, you get the training, you get the experience, you get to spend a long weekend here in free America, in God's country. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Brownell's bullet points this week. Yes, indeed. Boom. Before we get any farther, let me see if the contest is still going on. Brownells they are doing a contest. I don't know if it's over yet. Basically it's a make you famous contest. Did you see that, Jared? Where if you're a professional gunsmith,
yep,
and you would like to be featured, your mug on the Brownells catalog, they have a contest, an opportunity for you freaks out there to do it, to actually have your mug featured on their catalog. And I'm looking for the exact link, because I think they were only doing the contest for a couple of weeks. We posted it on our Student of the Gun Facebook page. I basically said, hey, do you want to be famous? If so, follow this link, and you too can be famous. You might be able to get your mug on the Brownells catalog. So that is going on. Now, it is only open to professional gunsmiths, and they want to know. I mean, if you apply, they're going to want to know. They're going to want to know, how are you a gunsmith and what's that all about? Zach, did you find the link? I found the linkage. I'm going to go ahead and take the linkage, and I'm going to drop it in the show notes. So if you guys would like to take a look at that. And Zach, you can go ahead and put it live if you want in the chat notes as people are watching right now. So the Brownells folk, they're like, in addition to all the other cool stuff that they do, they're like, hey man, you want to be famous? Oh yeah. The contest runs from July 31st to August 15th. So if you are a professional gunsmith and you would like to be famous and make your shop famous and so on and so forth, follow the link that we just gave you. It's in the show notes. And maybe you too will be the next kid on the box of Wheaties or whatever. What do we normally talk about during Brownell's bullet points? We usually talk about gear, right? Talk about stuff, things that can assist you and aid you. And often we will talk about, often we will try to separate facts from crap. You think that's fair, Jared?
Yeah.
Try to separate, what is practical from what is just Gucci or what is just plain flat out stupid or what have you. Well, you guys may or may not know. If you follow our socialist media, you should know, but I know not all of you do. Right here in my hand. Now, I know it has the little stripey thing across it that says not for sale because it's a proof copy. But the brand new book, Patriot Fireteam Equipment Guide, is available right now. And it's available on Amazon as a paperback or a Kindle version. And the answer is yes, we will have signed copies. Unfortunately, and this is just the reality of our Kung Flu era, it takes us like twice to almost 3 times as long to get copies from the publishers now, or from the printer, as it did. Before the Kung Flu, we could get them in 7 business days usually. When I ordered the Legion of Michael books, it took almost a month, which is unusual because we've been doing this for years and years and years, right? So I didn't want to wait because, quite frankly, this information. You say, okay, Paul, smart guy, what is in there? Well, there's recommendations about pistols. There's recommendations about rifles, but there's also personal protective gear, recommendations for personal protective gear, traumatic medicine and first aid, community relations, access denial and intruder detection, physical fitness and strength, night operations, field hygiene and sanitation, and much, much more. A lot of people have asked me over the years, and they want specifics. And I try to stay away from specifics because, people want what they want, especially American men. American men are like, no, you don't know, man. My scar heavy is this or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. If that's what you like, great. I don't care. Buy that. But the fact of the matter is, if you're going to be working with a team, a team is 4 individuals or 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever. But in this case, in the Patriot Fire Team case, it's 4. It's 4 individuals working together as a unit, as a cohesive unit. If you're going to be working as a cohesive unit, you need to understand from the very beginning that it's not enough just to have 4 individual guys who own guns. Because 4 individual guys who just happen to own guns are not a team. Okay? There's a big difference between 4 people who you're like, you like guns? Yeah, I like guns. You like guns? Yeah, I like guns. Oh, we all like guns. So now we're a team, right? Now we can function as a cohesive team in a crisis. No, that's not how it works. That is not how it works at all. In the original Patriot Fire Team manual, I talked about training. Talked about a lot of training, about recommended training that you should take as an individual, training you should take as a team, how to work with your families, how to get your families involved in this. But I didn't say go out specifically and buy X rifle or X helmet or X body armor or whatever. And a lot of people, we get this all the time. We get people like, well, what should I buy and why should I buy it? Okay, you wanted it. I gave it to you. It's right in here. Specific details, and there are illustrations. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there's illustrations. So this book is illustrated. It's an illustrated guide. Let me flip through it again. It's an illustrated guide. It has, it's not overly long, but it's full of down and dirty details about keeping your neighborhood, your community, your family safe in the event of a crisis, in the event of an emergency, whether it's man-made or natural. And do I need to tell you, Jared, I don't really think I need to sell that idea now.
No, I hope not.
That there's a lot of bad around the corner. We're going to talk about a lot of bad around the corner here in the next segment. So if you're out there and you're frustrated and you're saying, okay, I know I should be doing something. I get that. I'm at the point where I realize that I should be doing something besides complaining on Facebook, right? Complaining on Facebook is not helping you. You need to actually do something real. And many of you out there, you may have fallen into the place where you have become the de facto leader. You've got a few friends and they look at you and they're like, hey, bro, what should we be doing? What should we be buying? What gear should we have? Should we have this kind of gear or shouldn't we? Or should we buy this or shouldn't we? Or, what should we be doing, brother? And you might say, oh, I don't know. I'm not in charge. But sometimes you just are. Sometimes you become the leader, whether you want it to be the leader or not. And you need to have information. You need to have well thought out information. And that's what this is. That is what is in the Patriot Fire Team Equipment Guide. It's right there. It's got the symbology on it. You guys should be familiar with the symbology by now.
I think the word you're looking for is symbolism.
Symbolism. In the back of the book, it actually says symbology. Uh-huh. It explains the symbology. And if you've ever wondered, if you've ever been out there and you're like, what is this strange symbology that Paul is constantly using with the Patriot Fire Team? I don't know what that is. Would someone please explain it to me? Okay, I did. I did. At the very end of the book, I explained the symbology. So you will know. Now you will know. So that is called the Patriot Fire Team Equipment Guide. It is currently on Amazon as a paperback. and as a Kindle. I know a lot of you guys are the I gotta have it now people, and that's cool. But also keep in mind that in a hardcore crisis, your electronic devices might not be working like you want them to. So anything that's important to you, whether it's maps or instructions or whatever, needs to be backed up on paper. Would you say that's fair, Jared?
Yes, very much so. And it's always valuable skill to know how to actually use and read a paper map.
Yeah.
Even if you do have GPSs and the elevation tools and all that stuff, it's still, you start at the fundamentals with a paper map and a lensatic compass, and then you move from there. Once you understand how to use that tool, then you can figure out how to lean out your process of using the tools. Then you go to a digital reading, or you get a watch or whatever that tells you. There's even now you can get I think it's a Garmin, the little handhelds that actually talk to the watch, so you can set your waypoint and it'll tell you where you're going and if you're going the right way. But if all that stuff, your batteries die, which actually happens more often than you like to think when you're out in the wilderness, then you need to be able to pull out the map and use it from there.
Yes, indeed. So, and anything that's important to you, any survival type things that are important to you, you really should have a paper backup. You should have a physical, I can put my hand on this. If the internet, if all of your information is digital and it's all in the cloud and you lose access to the internet and you can get nothing, you're just screwed. So there you go. For instance, directions on how to make a water purification still. It's really simple. But if all of you're like, well, it's no big deal. If the power goes out and there's a major hurricane or earthquake, well, then I will go ahead and watch a YouTube video. Why did that just happen? Was that my computer that did that? Mother Fletcher.
Something broken? Are we going to keep going, or what's wrong?
Yeah, no, we're going to keep going. All right, that was a random virus virus alert update. I need to update my virus protection because
your computer doesn't get the COVID.
Yeah, so my computer doesn't get the Kung Flu and get sick. All right, what are we going to do with ugly guns? We're going to make them not ugly, and how?
It's easy. Go to jerkoutfireandfinishes.com, pick up some slightly darker black and some templates. And I would recommend getting black and gold.
Black and gold.
Great together.
But you can get any color you want because you're an American. You can go to jerkoutfireandfinishes.com and make sure you don't have an ugly gun. Also, don't forget, sign up for Brownell's newsletter. We already talked about that, but yeah, sign up for their newsletter. And if you're you know what would be awesome? Would be fantastic if one of our listeners who is also a gunsmith was the one on the cover of the next catalog.
Yeah, we are talking directly to you, Ben.
Yeah. Or Dixon.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget, Dixon, are you listening?
Yep.
You're a gunsmith. Get on that crap. All right. SWAT Fuel wants you to have a stronger body, sharper mind. Right now, quit making excuses. Go to SWATfuel.com. Use the promo code SOTG. All right. Since it's Wednesday, Zach has got a little something he wants you to pay attention to.
ShopSOTG.com is the perfect place to go if you are a student of the gun. Whether you want to expand your brain, increase your marksmanship, or help keep your family safe. All that, plus the pimp hand brands that you love. ShopSOTG.com has almost anything that an American patriot would want. Education, enlightenment, and entertainment, and we're open 24/7. Check out ShopSOTG.com today and see for yourself.
Jared, you have not spoken about this since it happened, or you're on the radio.
What did I do?
Well, you were on someone else's radio program.
Oh, I was on Lock and Load with Bill Frady.
Yeah.
Talking about the new venture as CEO of Full 30. It's a video sharing platform. It's a lot like YouTube.
Only better.
But it is it's friendly to the industry, and we've got I just talked with the dev team today as we record this, and we've got the back end of the refurb is far enough along that we can actually start plugging it into the front end. We'll actually be able to see this stuff. So what I want you guys to do is go listen to that show that I did with Bill Frady from Lock and Load Radio. I think it's just lockinloadradio.com.
Yeah, the letter N.
Letter N.
Like, and what does N stand for?
Not gonna
Newton.
work here anymore.
It stands for Newton. Don't forget.
Newton Load Radio.
Yeah, the capital N stands for Newton. And if you are all, and how was that? How was your experience doing a traditional broadcast versus this one?
It is much easier and more difficult
At the same
time. Because you essentially have 7 to 10 minutes to get directly to the point and share the message that you want to share, and then they break for the commercial breaks. And here on the Student of the Gun Radio, we can just talk for 40 minutes with no commercial breaks. Well, we had one.
Well,
but we control the time of that.
That's right. We are controlling the time.
And of course, on the grad program, there are no commercials at all.
No,
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no commercials of the grad program. If you're not a grad program member, you didn't save money on the class, and you're not getting the extra bonus hours, and you're not getting the technical tutors, and you're having to listen to commercials. So I think that it would be in your best interest.
Would it behoove them?
It would behoove you.
It would
to go
behoove
to
them.
GetSOTG.com and become a grad program member, so that I can continue to feed my daughter.
That's right, because that baby's hungry.
Yeah, she eats a lot. Holy cow, man!
Baby's so cute. My granddaughter's here. She's hanging out with me this week.
I do want to mention here before I forget to do it, I want to mention here on Student of the Gun that if you produce videos and you want somewhere to, right now, if you need an insurance policy and you're not willing to go outside to another platform, and you do most of your stuff on YouTube and you want to put it somewhere just in case YouTube decides to can you, go to full30.com, sign up. It's free to sign up. You can get your channel reserved. We're opening it up to everybody. So it's not an exclusive community of content producers anymore. We've got big producers on there. We've got small producers on there, but we want everybody to be on there because the more people sharing their message, the bigger the industry will get. We totally believe that the First Amendment, 1A protects 2A. Everybody knows that the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment and all the rest. But if it gets to the point where you have to use the Second Amendment to protect any other amendment, in my opinion, it's probably too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah. So if you can't form your group of people and talk about what you want to talk about using the First Amendment, then you're already going down the path where you're going to need to use the Second Amendment at some point in time. So why don't we protect the First Amendment too? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I think we should all know the lessons of many of who have come before us. You're like, oh, well, I've got a channel and YouTube's never messed with my channel and I'm always going to be good. Until that one day you wake up and your friend sends you a text and they're like, hey man, how come your channel's not there? And you're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it is. And you go over and you're like, oh, it's all gone. Everything. Every video I posted on YouTube is boop, gone. All that work.
Yep.
How many? That happened to Jeff.
Yeah.
It happened to Jeff and Yeager. Happened to several of our friends that YouTube just one day decided, we don't like you anymore, so we're going to erase everything you ever did on YouTube. Bye. That's not going to happen on full30.com. All right, it's time for a Student of the Gun Homeroom brought to you by Crossbreed Holsters. Yes, indeedy do. How many times have I come to this microphone and I've said, well, first, if you're excited about actually having a gun on you and attach your body all the time like you should, go to crossbreedholster.com, use the promo code SOTG18. It's not getting the upgrade for free, but it's like getting the upgrade for free at no charge. It is almost similar to getting the upgrade at no charge. If you're shopping and you say, man, I'd like that horsehide, but I don't want to spend the extra $10, use the promo code SOTG18 and you will save enough that you will be able to get the horsehide upgrade for nothing. What? I know. You're welcome, freaks. All right, what have we been saying? Jared, what is the motto of our Student of the Gun homeroom? being what?
Dangerous on demand.
Being dangerous on demand. We've been saying this for a long, long time, that it is your responsibility to continuously be dangerous on demand. And most of the time, not all the time, sometimes we talk about, hardware specifics. Like last week we talked about the chest rig, but even when we talked about the new chest rig, we said, hey, you use the chest rig to be dangerous on demand because you're just hiking through the woods and here comes Smokey the Bear and he's like, hey, hi, lunch. How are you doing? And if you don't have anything but a stick or a rock, you probably are going to be lunch. And that's what's going to happen. So would you like to be lunch for the criminal thug element, for the criminal mobs and gangs in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Would you? I wouldn't. But apparently the powers that be think that you should just surrender. Jared, this is a real story. I've seen this 3 different places just today, and it's datelined August 2nd, so it's pretty much brand new. Would you go ahead and dive in for the folk at home?
Yep. It says, do as they say. Minneapolis police tell residents to be prepared to give up personal belongings to robbers.
Now, read the subquote.
We want those who live and work here to be safe. It's actually not true.
Yeah.
But okay. Minneapolis police inform residents of the city's embattled 3rd precinct to prepare for the giving up of personal belongings to potential robbers and advise them to do as criminals say for their own safety. According to a July 28th email provided to Alpha News Minnesota that was also forwarded to the Daily Wire, the Minneapolis Police Department offered quote-unquote prevention tips to residents hoping to avoid being a victim of the skyrocketing cases of robbery and carjacking that have plagued the city since George Floyd's death.
Yeah, it was George Floyd that caused this. Yeah, okay.
This is a quote. It says, robberies and carjackings have increased in our precinct. Cell phones, purses, and vehicles are being targeted. Some victims have been maced, dragged, assaulted, and some threatened with a gun. Most of these crimes have occurred north of 42nd Street East 100. East. North of 42nd Street East. 100 robberies and 20 carjackings have been reported to the 3rd Precinct Police in July alone.
Okay, July has how many days?
31.
31, right? So in
100.
31 days,
That's 4.
They had 100 robberies and 20 carjackings. So 4 per day.
3.8.
3.8 per day. Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
But hang on, Jared. Refresh my memory, my friend. Is Minneapolis not the city where the city council voted to defund the police department?
I'm pretty sure.
Isn't that what the protesters had demanded? They demanded the defunding of the police department, right? And so they did. So they got what they wanted. So why is this still going on? That was last month. That was in June when that happened. So why is this still going on? Maybe because that's not what they wanted. Maybe they just wanted easy to pick victims. Maybe. Downtown and Southwest Minneapolis have seen an increase as well. We want those who live here to be safe. This should insult the ever-living crap out of every intelligent human listening to this.
This is an email from the Minneapolis. From Minneapolis City of Lakes. And it was from MPD.
Yes, this is an actual, and they got themselves a new chief, Chief Madaria not gonna work here anymore. That's for sure. Arendado. I think that's it. No, there's no N in there. Arredondo. There we go. Arredondo. So Chief Madaria.
You can do it.
You can do it. Arredondo. Remember when we said that a 5% increase in anything is area for concern? Like if you're doing crime stats and they say, hey, there's been a 5% increase in break-ins or robberies or rapes or whatever, that is a cause for concern. What is it? Did you have this Alpha News story open, Jared? Is that what you got?
Yeah.
MPD has reported a 46% increase in carjackings and a 36% increase in robberies since the same time last year. Yes, it actually says in this memorandum from your police department, Jared, you know what's great for people in Minneapolis, though? The businesses, they no longer have to pay taxes.
Yep.
Because
that's going to be reallocated somewhere.
Well, because you know how they always say, you need to be a good citizen and pay taxes because it's the police and fire and it's the city needs to have that money to keep you safe. And you need to be a good citizen and give us your money so that we can keep you safe. But they're not. So I'm assuming that they're just going to refund all that money and they're going to give it back. Oh, look, my wife is crawling down the stairs. What is she doing? Hello, wife.
She's probably coming to tell me that water doesn't exist.
Oh, all right. Here's some of the tips from your police department, the Department of Policing. They say, do not walk alone. Be hyper aware. Now, Jared, what is hypo? Not enough, right? And what's hyper?
Too much.
Too much or more than enough. So they want you to be more than enough or too much aware of your surroundings at all times. You know, that's...
So would you say condition yellow or red, or where would they put that on the scale?
Oh, that would be a red.
Yeah.
That'd be a red.
Just regular aware is yellow.
Be prepared to give up your cell phone, your purse, and your wallet. Have your key. You know what this is? This is 1970s New York advice. In the 1970s, when crime was out of control, this was the same advice that the liberals, the Democrats, were giving to the people. Like, well, we can't do anything about the crime. We can't stop the criminals. But you, as the victim, the onus is on you. Have your keys ready in your hand as you approach your car. Despite all efforts, all efforts from whom? Jared, what efforts?
I was just about to say, we're going to compare this to another city here pretty soon and figure out who's putting in effort and who's not.
So, Jared, who do we talk about on Monday's episode?
The chief of police in Detroit, or captain.
No, the chief.
Chief, okay.
He's El Jefe.
Thanks, Mom.
We talked about James Craig, who is the serious El Jefe of Detroit PD. And you have a Democrat, Mike Dugan, who is actually a conservative business owner. And Mike Dugan, the mayor of Detroit, is standing by his man. He's standing behind the chief of police. He said, I hired this guy. I think he hired him. But even if he didn't, it doesn't matter. He's like, no, I stand behind the police. And Chief Craig says, I stand behind, you guys heard the show Monday. He said, I stand behind my officers. And what was the number one thing that he said that gave us chills? We will not what?
We will not put up with it.
No, we will not retreat.
Oh, retreat. That's what it was.
Yeah. He said, we will. Remember. He goes, unlike other cities where people are looting and rioting and what he said, he goes, you see images, videos of people looting and burning, and there's no police to be seen anywhere. He said, that's not going to happen in Detroit. He said, we will not retreat. And he also said, we learned that lesson. He learned that lesson from his time in L.A. So compare that. So you have a city, Detroit, which is predominantly Democrat. The population is predominantly Democrat. But you still have a chief of police and a mayor that have said, to quote the great Damon Wayans, what have they said?
I don't know.
Homie, don't play that.
Oh, that's the guy's name that did Major Payne.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damon Wayans was Homie the Clown. So Chief Craig said, homie, don't play that. And Mike Dugan says, you heard what my police chief said, homie, don't play that. Compare that to Minneapolis, another major metropolitan city run by Democrats. I would go so far as to say as run by communists. We've already laid out the communist agenda in Minneapolis. What is it? The Democrat Farm Labor Party. They've been electing mayors from the Democrat Farm Labor Party for 20 years or 25 years or some crap.
Well, now hold on a second. One of their carjacking prevention tips here that is sent out by the Minnesota Police Department is to essentially run over the people that are approaching.
No, does it say that?
Yeah, it says don't stop for strangers who are trying to approach you or stop your car.
Oh, well, all right. I can get behind that. Don't stop for them. All right. Jared, read the B-A.
Be a good victim. No, it says be a good witness. When you call 911, be prepared to answer many questions. How many suspects? Age, height, complexion, hair and eye color, scars or tattoos, weapon. What did it look like? What direction did they leave in? And vehicle description.
Now, riddle me this, Batman. If the city council of Minneapolis voted to defund the police department, who are you supposed to give this information to?
The social workers.
Oh, the social workers. Thank you, Zach. Zach, you actually kind of like took me by surprise there. I was looking at Jared, and that voice came into my ear.
You're welcome.
Wow. Thank you. So, we don't need police. As a matter of fact, police are the reason why there's crime. Remember what the Democrat Party, the Communist Democrat Party, will tell you, that the existence of police creates crime in our big cities. Really?
Hey, okay, real quick. I just thought about something. You remember was it The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises? When basically Alfred said, you being the Batman is what's causing all these bad people to show up. Do you remember that? He basically said, if it wasn't for you, there would be no Joker, there would be no Bane.
Well,
But
I don't see.
reality,
Go
ahead.
No, I only watched the Bane one time.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't really have a lot of memory. I've watched the other one like 17 times.
Oh, yeah, me too. But yeah, it's just like, yeah. It's like they're trying, like, I don't remember who it was, but they were trying to say if there was no Batman, there would be no Joker or no Bane. But realistically, Batman exists because they already exist.
Because they are
It's the same
there.
principle.
Yeah. Yeah. If you live in Minneapolis, you need a neighborhood watch program. Wouldn't you say, Jared, they need a neighborhood watch program?
Yeah.
And what I have done for you, because I am kind and benevolent and generous, what I've done for you is I've created a guide to setting up and establishing your own neighborhood watch program. You're like, no, Paul, I went to neighborhoodwatch.org on the internet. Wrong. That is not going to help. Okay. They're going to tell you, be a good witness. Carry a whistle and a flashlight. Call 911 and wait for the police to come and find your body sometime later. No. What I've done is I've created what is essentially a neighborhood watch program for responsible citizens. And it's laid out right there. Can you see that? Jack and Jill, the Patriot Fire Team. What is the Patriot Fire Team? It's as simple as this. If someone says to you, if you're already on board, a lot of you are already on board. You're like, dude, I'm already on board. I'm sold. Stop selling me. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to give you a selling point. Somebody who doesn't quite understand, and they're like, well, what is this Patriot Fire thing all about? And you say, you know what neighborhood watch is? Yeah, I know what neighborhood watch is. Well, think of the PFT as a neighborhood watch with rifles instead of flashlights and whistles. And they're like, oh, yeah. And throw in body armor and, other things. But if you want to create a neighborhood watch program with rifles, boom, we laid it out. It's right there in black and white. There's no reason for you not to have that information.
I need to congratulate Evelyn Johnson. You want to know why?
Please tell me why.
Evelyn Johnson is a 99-year-old woman who was assaulted in her home by a man who broke in and wrapped her head in a blanket. But despite her age and directions to comply with the criminal's demands, she said, "Nuh-uh, not going to have it." A quote from Evelyn says, "He thought he was just going to cover my mouth and smother me, but that didn't happen. I fought him. We wrestled for quite a while, according to all my bruises." A 99-year-old woman is
Fought
fighting back.
Well, I hope she was wearing a mask. Yeah. Well, good for her.
The
I thought you were going to
suspect
say she
ended
pulled
up-
out a gun and shot him in the face, and
No,
his
sadly.
teeth are laying on the floor.
That would be. He got away with her iPad and $40.
Mm. Do you know why that happens? Because people in neighborhoods allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know why those people live and exist in your neighborhoods? Because you've allowed it to happen. What do you mean we've allowed it to happen? It's not our job. It's the police's job. Oh. You mean the same police department in Minneapolis that says, "Hey, sucks to be you. You're on your own. Can't help. Not even going to try. Oh, well, just give in." Because what do we know about bullies and criminals, Jared?
They go away.
Yeah, well, if you give in to them, then they have a change of heart and they stop doing that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we know historically about bullies and criminals and thugs. If you just give in to the thug or the bully or the criminal, they'll just have a change of heart. They'll miraculously find the Lord and say, "You know what? This is just wrong. I'm just going to stop doing that." Yeah. Really? Yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that Cat in the Hat and that totally be that. What are your instructions? Number 1, if you're a professional gunsmith and you're listening to my show, we want your freakish face to be on the Brownells catalog. So follow that link and say, ooh, Mr. Cotter, me. If you would like to form your own neighborhood watch program, only instead of being a, can I say flaccid penis?
Sure.
Okay.
That
Instead
phrasing
of
is perfectly fine.
a flaccid penis with a whistle and a flashlight who's just running around, scared of shadows.
Screaming arm, please.
Yeah. Police! There aren't even any. There's not any armed police in Minnesota. In Minneapolis, there's no armed police. You're on your own. If you'd like to actually protect your community and your neighborhood, we've got the blueprint for you. It's called the Patriot Fire Team. And we've got the Patriot Fire Team manual, which is kind of thick. It's got 240, 50 pages in it. And then we have the Patriot. If you've already got the PFT manual, get the guide. And brothers and sisters, you're going to be ready to deal with all the Toro caca that is in the future for the United States of America. All right, boys, do you have anything else to say to the audience at home?
Nope.
Love you guys.
Nope.
Go to Full 30. There's lots of cool stuff there.
Oh, yeah, go to Full 30. All right.
Subscribe to Student of the Gun on Full 30 specifically.
Yes, please do. And remember, you're a beginner once.
Your student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.